All right, Shalom. Out here once again, the highways and byways. Out here on the highways and byways again, doing the work. First, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, Baal Shem Wakak Wadash. All right, double honors to the elder prophets of Great Millstone, Ruwell, and on Thomas Knowledge. Honors and salutations to you fellow laborers out there doing the work of true sincerity. Shalom and shalom to the few I walk that believe as well. Today, I want to touch on the Gentile subject. It's an important subject. It's a subject that the theologians, they try to call themselves trying to catch us up in, and they never can, because we have the truth, right? We have the knowledge of the scriptures, and they don't. Right? It's something that comes up a lot. To be honest, it comes up quite a bit. And so I'm going to go into that subject matter. Lord willing, today's street ministry is edifying. I'm going to jump right into it. So, I'm going to open up the book of St. John, chapter 7, and verse 33. It says, Then said Yahushua unto them, Yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, till ye cannot come. Then said the Jews among themselves, Whither would he go, that we shall not find him? Would he go into the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? Now, automatically when it comes up, you're thinking it's talking about actual Gentiles, right? Remember, you got the actual Gentiles, and then you got a Gentile, which is a foreigner of the nation of Israel, all right? The nation that was dispersed among all the nations were the Israelites, all right? That's whom the Lord dispersed among the nations, all right? Let's go from there. I'm going to go to the book of Tobit. All right, this is Tobit, chapter 3, and it's starting in verse 2. It says, O Lord, thou art just in all thy works, and all thy ways are mercy and truth, and thou judgest truly and justly forever. Remember me and look on me, punish me not for my sins and ignorances, and the sins of my fathers, who have sinned before thee, for they obeyed not thy commandments, wherefore thou hast delivered us for a spoil, and unto captivity, and unto death, and for a proverb of reproach to all the nations among whom we are dispersed. So, Tobit was the Israelite himself, all right? So, who was dispersed? The nation of Israel, the tribes, the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Especially Jews, right? Now, when you go into the scriptures, you go into the book of Deuteronomy, 28th chapter, and about the 64th verse. What does it say? Because remember, that's what we call the book of the curses, right? So when you go to it, it tells you what the Lord will do unto the children of Israel for not hearkening to his voice. Let's get it real quick. Deuteronomy 28:15.
Go to next time, huh?
But
Go to next time.
it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So there are curses that befell upon the Israelites, right? For not keeping covenant, which the Lord had made between himself and the children of Israel by the hand of Moses, right? It says, verse 64. It says, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. So all people mean what? All the other nations. All right? Because there are 18 nations in the Bible. One of them being the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? And then the heathen, meaning the other nations, the other 17 nations, the Lord scattered them among them. All right? So it says, oh, Shalaki, 1 second. Shalaki. So like I was saying, oh shit. Like I was saying, before I had to step aside for a moment. But like I was saying, the children of Israel, whom the Lord threw curses on, were not hearkening to his voice. And like I just read, Deuteronomy 28:64, they will be scattered among all people. All right? Now, let me finish that verse out. So when you think about disbursement, when you think about scattering, all right, what automatically come to your mind is the children of Israel. So it says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. So from that side, which was also known as the known world back then, and then the so-called unknown world, which it was known, but this is what Esau called the unknown world, because he tried to hide the fact that he knew it was Israelites on this side of the earth. All right, I was about to say town on accident. So it says, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So this is what happened to the Israelites, right? This is one of the curses that happened. All right, scattered among all people, right? From one end of the earth unto the other. All right, that happened to the 12 tribes of Israel. You had it where even during the transatlantic slave trade, what they was doing, they was indiscriminately selling Israelites, especially the tents of Judah, right? And so Israelites, by way of slavery, going into captivity, right? They were scattered and dispersed as a result of being disobedient. All right. So the Gentiles that is spoken about in the New Testament, when you go into the Hellenistic period, right? Because there's plenty of history of the Hellenistic period of the Jews, or the Jews being Hellenized, which Hellenized. Let's get it from the Zondervan. I'm gonna grab this other precept. The Hellenistic period of the Jews was an important part of history, which a lot of that history you can find that in the Apocrypha. This is a Hellenist from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It says, Jews who made Greek their tongue and with it often adopted Greek ideas and practices. It says, and it gives reference scriptures, right? It says Acts 6:1 and 9 and 29. So matter of fact, let's hit these precepts, right? Acts 6:1 and 9 and 29, right? Let's hit these precepts. Let's go to Acts 6:1 first. Acts chapter 6, verse 1, it says, and in those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Jews, because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. So now it says Grecians, right? It must be talking about the actual Greeks, right? No, that's what it means. All right, it means Hellenistus, all right, Hellene, all right, a Jew who spoke Greek language and probably was doing, more than likely, I should say, more than likely was doing Greek practices, dressing like the Greeks, eating like the Greeks, all that, shaving their beards off, all manner of things, even sacrificing them to idols, all right. Remember, during you go into First Maccabees, Second Maccabees. It was a hard time for Jacob, especially for the Jews. Because why? The Greeks were sorely oppressing them, especially this guy, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes. All right? So it says, what was the other one? Acts 9 and 29, right? Let's go to that one. Let's get both of them. Those are the reference scriptures that the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary had gave. So let's go to Acts 9 and 29. It says, jump over to the 9th chapter, 29th verse. It says, Acts 9 and 29, it says, and he spake boldly in the name of the Lord Yahushua and disputed against the Grecians, but they went about to slay him. All right, now, this is talking about Saul and Barnabas, right? So let's go to the blue letter, Acts 9 and 29. We're going to get Acts 6 and 1 too. Get that as well. See the word comes up there. On the blue letter. So I read from the the Compact Bible Dictionary, Zondervan, what that is, and it said Hellenist, right? So we know what Hellenist means. Let's go to Acts 6 and 1. Acts 6. The word Grecians. Oh, there it goes. There it is right here. It says,
Strong's G 1675. Hellenistes. Hellenistes.
so it says a Hellenist. All right. So it says Hellenist, one who imitates the manners and customs or the worship of the Greeks and use the Greek tongue. Used in the New Testament of Jews born in foreign lands and speaking Greek. Well, the foreign lands they was living in was the land of the Greeks. Corinth, Greece, all that, right? So here it is. I don't know if you can see it, but hopefully you can see it a little bit. So there it is. All right. It says a Hellenist or Greek-speaking Jew. This is strong definitions. All right. So there you have it, man. You have it where guys like Vocab Malone, you think he's talking about actual Greeks or actual Gentiles. No, it's talking about the Jews, the Israelites, that were speaking Greek and it was acting after the manner of the Greeks. That's what it's talking about. All right. So again, you're wrong, Vocab, and all the rest of you guys that come against us, man. Are you wrong? Because why? You thinking it's talking about heathen? You want the heathen to come in and be a part of the covenant the Lord made between us when they never was a part of it. All right, never was. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use my mobile sword. I can move a little faster. This is Romans 16. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start a little bit. I go right to the point. Romans 1:16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Yahushua, for it is the power of the Most High to salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first and also to the Greek. All right. Because you know why? It's talking about the Jews who knew they were Jews, and they lived in the Commonwealth of Israel, within the borders of Israel. All right, then you had the Greek, which are the Hellenists, all right, that lived in the land of the Greeks. All right, though they were Israelites, they lived in foreign lands and did foreign things. All right, like the people they live amongst, which were the Greeks, the Edomites. All right, so yeah, there it is, man. You can't. When you go into the blue letter and you even type that up, right? Greeks, right? Again, it'll come up. Let's see. Go to the word Greeks. Hellene. Hellene, which is the root word of Hellenist. Right? Same thing, man. It's referring to the Israelite foreigners. Right? The Israelite foreigners that. If you raise among heathen, you don't know the customs of your people. Well, by default, you're going to do as the people that are around you. So, say, what's something I can, okay, for instance, say your people grow up and they eat lawful foods, right? But then you are of their lineage. You know, you're related to these people, right? By lineage, right? You're the same as those people, but you born and raised in say another land, like outside of your land that belong to your people, and they eat things that are not lawful according to your dietary laws, right? So they be eating like squid, octopus, you know, shit like that, eel, right? Maybe shark, what have you, right? And so you come to or come among your people, all right, and you eat these manner of things, right? call you a heathen. This is the reason why when Paul brought in those Israelite foreigners to the land of Israel, all right, they were calling them heathen. Because why? Though they were Israelites, they were acting and doing as the heathen would do. All right, that's why, what's that, let's go to, precept real quick. In fact, we're going to go to one. First Corinthians, because I want to get this one because this pertains to the Israelites that was at Corinth, right? It says, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. So the reason why Paul was saying these things to the Israelites at Corinth, because those things pertaining to circumcision, right, going back to the law, right? Because Paul himself was a Pharisee. All right, he was raised up in the law, so he knew the law. And that's why Paul said in Romans 3, do we then make war the law through faith? And he said the Most High forbid, they will establish the law. Right? Even though by the law can no flesh be saved, yet we're supposed to establish the law. And that's why we always refer to Judges 5 and 11, that we rehearse the righteous acts. All right? So Paul, not only did he teach about faith, but he also would quote the law too. Because he was establishing the law, putting it in their minds. All right? No, you're not supposed to eat this swine's flesh. Neither touch it. No, you're not supposed to be an adulterer. Neither abuse of yourself of mankind. Especially Leviticus 20 and 13. All right, men lying with mankind as they would lie with a woman. All right, same thing. All right, like it says in Romans 1, leaving the natural use of the woman. All right, the men burning their lust one toward another. That was pertaining to the Israelites that was at Rome. All right? Paul was speaking to them Israelites there. So, again, all right, those foreigners that was coming in out of these different lands, they had to be taught. All right? They had to be taught, they had to learn how to live according to their own customs that the Lord had given unto them, which they had not learned in these foreign lands. All right, not saying that the Jews in Israel was not going off, like they was fully on point. You had jigs going off too. That was brought up in the Commonwealth of Israel. All right, but on the Gentile subject matter, these Israelite foreigners, they didn't know nothing about Hebrew and Israel. Now you had a few that did. All right, you had a few that did. Like Timotheus, all right? It says his father was a Greek. Let's get that real quick. This is Acts 16 and 1. It says, then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there, named Timotheus, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess, and believed, but his father was a Greek. Now, right there, you would think, oh, see, his father was a Greek. Oh, he must be a heathen. And then, theologians, oh, remember you, when they try to call themselves catching us up, even though they can't, right? And Spirit is dealing with us, right? So it'd be funny and entertaining a little bit, but right there, somebody would say, "Oh, well, Timotheus' father was a Greek. His mother was a Jewess, but his father was a Greek." No, dummy. It means that his mother more than likely acknowledged the fact that she was an Israelite. But his father chose to live and do after the manner of the Greeks. Going back to what? The Maccabees, the Hellenistic period. When it was illegal, it was illegal. It was made illegal for you to call yourself to be a Jew or Israelite. All right? And that's all documented history. So you can understand why Timotheus' father called himself a Greek. All right? It says, verse 2, which was well reported of by the brethren that were at Lystra and Iconium. All right, so it says, him would Paul have to go forth with him and circumcise them because of the Jews which were in those quarters, for they knew all that his father was a Greek. And and that's showing you how important a man is, or a father is to a family. Because a man is the head of the household. Your father's he acting like a Greek. He's speaking and doing things after the manner of the Greeks. Oh, you a Greek, man. Pretty much what they were saying. All right? Verse 4. But before I move on, but he had a good report, right? He had a good report among the brethren. Because he more likely, actually he believed. He believed in Yahweh Shah. He believed in the Most High. He believed in Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah. All right. It says, verse 4, and as they went through the cities, they delivered them the decrees for to keep that were ordained of the apostles and elders which were at Jerusalem. And so were the churches established in the faith and increased in number daily. So, again, right, even though Timotheus' father was more likely claiming that he was the Greek, right? He was one of the Israelites. But yet and still, him being moved with that zeal, he believed he was a part of the ministry. He was a part of the brethren. All right, so let's go to another example. I want to go to Galatians. This is Galatians chapter 2, verse 1. It says, then 14 years after, I went up again to Jerusalem with Barnabas and took Titus with me also. And I went up by revelation and communicated unto them that the gospel which I preach among the Gentiles were privately to them which were of reputation, lest by any means I should run or had run in vain. But neither Titus, who was with me, being a Greek, was compelled to be circumcised, and that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privately to spy out our liberty, which we have in the anointed Yahweh Shah, that they might bring us into bondage. So this is a account of Titus, right? Basically was compelled to be circumcised. All right. Now, it said being a Greek, right? So does that mean Titus was a Greek? Does it mean Titus was an actual Edomite? Because the Greeks were Edomites. Keep it in mind. They weren't the actual people of Japheth. That's confusion in itself. That's confusion in itself because you got some wacky tacky Christian theologians. They try to act like Esau is Japheth, and it's not Japheth at all. All right, I got on one Jake about that the other month, trying to act like people of Japheth was red people, man. The red people of the Bible are the Edomites, which are the so-called white people today. All right, you're not white, you're red, man. All right. Now, on the blue letter, in Galatians 2nd chapter, it was at the 3rd verse. to it. Galatians 2, the 3 on the blue letter. Let's go to interlinear. Again, that word there is Helen. Right, Helen. Again. Titus probably spoke the Greek language. Probably grew up dressing as the Greeks. Right? Doesn't mean he was actual Greek though. Actual Edomite. Alright? It says, Strong's definition says, Helene, or inhabitant of Hellas, says, by extension, a Greek-speaking person. A Greek-speaking person. That's it on that. So when Paul would make his travels to these different regions, what was he doing? Was he going to actual heathen and trying to convert the heathen? Huh? Was he doing that like this guy John Hyrcanus? Was he trying to convert actual Edomites? Was he being partaking in the traditions of the Jews? No, he wasn't. Right. He was going to actual Israelites. All right, Paul was an Israelite himself, of the tribe of Benjamin, as he stated in the book of Romans, the 11th chapter. All right. It says, let's sit on that. Let's go from there. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 11, chapter 11. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 11, it says, wherefore remember that ye, being in time past, Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision, by that which is called the circumcision, in the flesh made by hands. Right, because what it means to be Gentiles in the flesh, right, that doesn't mean that you're an actual Gentile. It pertains to the things that you was doing, all right, like the Gentiles. Like I said before, living like the Gentiles, speaking the Gentiles' language.